finishing off movement lesson, and there was a question about a parachute reflex not showing up in a child that's 7, 8, 9 kind of thing, doing gymnastics, maybe younger. But parachute reflex is when you extend a baby out and they naturally go and find the floor. So if I were to go out, I would fall and have a base to stand on. Yes, I get it. It's very easy to test for someone not having it. You hold someone here and you kind of tilt them forward and they don't put their hands out. The problem is with a lot of reflexes and diagnosing them being mature, not mature, immature to be at certain places, that's great. But, and I get it that it's a concrete diagnosis, however, that still doesn't affect the function. And I believe you have to change your functional movement or be able to assess functional movement to see where this reflex is not integrating into the system. So to just say to someone, put your hands out, that doesn't mean when it comes to times when you're crashing and burn that you're going to have that. It's not something that you can talk someone through it. It has to be in their system. Movement has to be in someone's system. So I'm going to show you a way of actually assessing this child, I would say from 3 on up, and just to see where they are. Now my concerns were that this child crawled until normal crawl, however, then torticollis came up and feeding issues. So there were some developmental things, especially to do with rotation, and that's where my specialty comes in. So now you can just have a child sit crisscross. Now, again, you could be playing games. Now, I don't have someone here to do the vision on me per se, but I'm going to talk you through it. What you're looking for is a neutral. Now, even with me, you can see the way I sit, way my femurs are on. I had bars on my feet. So especially when I lean forward, you can see where one knee presents higher than the other. So there's always going to be some kind of asymmetricals in kids, and especially if they're moving around or they'd rather go like this. But I'm looking for the neutrality, first of all, of the transfer of weight. So in this position, you want to see that there's a clear eyesight. Now I'm going eye, hand, hand, fine. You don't have to worry about complexities just yet here. But again, you can see where the right and the left, where you're looking. Now, usually someone that's not protecting themselves, I have concerns for 2 things. 1, that they didn't crawl, or 2, that they do not have binocular vision. So when I hear the words torticollis come up, especially a lot of times you see the right side torticollis, you can go both ways. But what happens now is that the system in many ways becomes eye dominant. So even though that the torticollis has now been corrected, you might see something like this. So where I just did a tracking, this is more neutral, let's say. And now you can have mom walk across the room back and forth, someone holding a ball, but you want something that, again, if you're testing now a 3 to 4 year old, where the object's about 4 feet away. Now, if you're seeing more this, now this is more right eye dominant. See how you're losing much more of this side of the face because my right eye is staying with the object. Left would look like this. Again, even though I'm here, so see, you'll see someone do this versus this. So that's an eye dominant. And again, you'll see, even that's even hard on my twist to do, to this side being left eye dominant. I get it, you're going to have an eye dominant. If you go to shoot a bow and arrow or whatever, what people do is if you do this and you see one finger versus this, see if I do this, my finger now jumps about 4 inches. So yes, in line of sight, I am right eye dominant, but I still have binocular vision. My eyes both work together. I'm not doing this to the camera. You'll see little tilts that might look like the child's shy, but actually what she's doing is she's showing that the eye is working here. Another way that you can test is convergence. So you're bringing an object just close and they'll go cross-eyed and then back out again if the convergence goes well. If not, you might see this where the eye will stay, will right eye out, or this, that they have to do this. Again, little things that might be showing up. Because if you don't have binocular vision, you're not going to have depth perception. So that's where the protective reflexes don't come off. So you want to test the vision, but you also want to see about the bilateral rotation, meaning how they twist from side to side. So in this position, you just want a child to do this, let's say, and this. Again, you're looking for that same. And then what really should be able to do, no problem. In this position, kids are very free in the pelvis. We tend to lose that when we get old because we don't play with it, but meaning that she should be able to do this, no problem, as well as to the same over here. So do you see, for the most part, I look quite even. Yes, I might have to round back because my feet go off the table, those kind of things. Don't look for the perfect posture at all times. But what that means is when I go to side sit, I can go up. But see what my hands are doing? I'm going for my protective response. So you should see deviations in the pelvis there. If you don't catch it in the eye, then the pelvis will be the next telltale. And then that's when you can either work with some of my vision videos or some of the pelvis videos of working here, working with the pelvis and coming around and then slowly, transferring weight, and you can build up those reflex patterns here. Because that's another thing you should be able to see is a kid can go scoot and go back and forth. Those are another things that are there for dominance. And if they're more like here, and you'll see that they go where the head has much more momentum before the hand goes here. See, here I have more real estate. My head stays stable and I can do those kind of movements. So that's what brings you up, all of those kind of things, but I need my hands down. So those are the things to look for and work on, those kind of integrations, and that should pick up the reflex patterns because they'll be more mature into the system because they happen more on a developmental movement pattern basis. I hope that helps. Thanks.
The Newborn Movement Assessment Guide is available at Amazon.com and at the newbornmovementassessment.com website.
By joining this exciting community, you will learn how to help infants from the moment that they enter the world and change the lives of countless children and families. Out of necessity to help a globally delayed child, Michelle Turner, Movement Integration Specialist, created Movement Lesson to benefit children throughout the world.